All right, and with that in mind, folks, we're going to jump over to our man Basil Chapman. Folks, head on over to the front page of TFNN. You'll see the opening call with Basil. And coming up in 40 minutes from right now, identifying trend changes and what action to take, a 90-minute webinar. You can subscribe, folks. And remember, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. We talk about it all the time, but a tremendous value, especially when you get a live webinar going on with Basil. You subscribe. You're in the room with Basil tonight. It's right in Discord, folks. We can get you in there. And you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you get Basil's outstanding newsletter as well. And it will be archived as well if you can't take all 90 minutes tonight. Basil Chapman, are you ready for this evening?
Well, I thought I was ready, except that my whole PowerPoint presentation got hooked up to the Skype or something, so I'm going to have to figure that one out. But believe me, I'm ready.
We're going to get them ready, folks.
Yeah, so this is a very exciting moment because besides the feedback I'm getting in my ear, let me just tell you, there is one overarching, I would call it a headline.
You probably have your own microphones. You have your earphones in the Tiger's Den, Basil. You can just select that one on the Tiger's Den if you want on your own reverb. And that's because we're getting them all set up in this room,
that's
folks.
Fine, I'll manage here.
Okay.
So what's really important about this particular phase, I'll just give you an example. We have been long, 3 times small positions, 3 times long, the UDOW, that's the Dow. But within that context, I got all the technical signals on the 23rd of July to say, be careful. You've made this peak D, this 4th highest peak. You could start to pull back. And very shortly after that, we went short, 2 times shorter position. Well, that dropped very sharply. And what's really interesting, so I had the longer term position long. I didn't want to change that because I didn't think we were going back to the April low. But using technical indicators, this has already, even to this moment, we are still making money in the 2 times short the Dow. That's using particular techniques. But if you had to look at the S&P, and this is going to be what I'm going to be talking about, and the issue is, how do you recognize a trend change in almost all the others, not the Russell 2000, which today has had a spectacular move to the upside, but the S&P and the QQQ have all held beautifully, certainly the 9-period moving average above the 14, and we've made all-time high in both of those. And that just said to me that going to the short side, it's not appropriate. There are certain conditions that need to be met, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. Where do you lighten up? As we've gotten to these highs, in some regards, we've lightened up. But at the same time, we are looking for a pullback because those weekly charts are still extremely strong. So what I'm going to be talking about is what are the identification markers, what you can do, how you can ameliorate this emotional part that says, surely at this point you've got to have a big pullback. Well, unless you get these conditions, you're not going to get that pullback. When you do get those conditions, you've got to be ready for it. So what this technique does, it stops you from going either short or just being too cautious too quickly. You can hold your positions. This keeps you in the long-term position much longer than you would have anticipated. It takes away all the emotions. So it's a very important, these techniques are very important. And so far, I mean, we have 4 or 5 instruments that we are holding that are still almost at all-time highs or at all-time highs. And that's one of the reasons is because we've had these particular technical indicators. But I'm also looking at what is just starting to move, maybe sector-wise or symbol-wise, right now, that could be starting a brand new move of its own. So it's going to be very exciting. It's a perfect time for this because we haven't got the big sell signal yet, but we're also looking at what you can buy and what does it mean with the Russell 2000 breaking to a new recovery high as we speak. 226.74 was the high July the 23rd, and today's high is 226.58. We are pennies away from breaking that high, and if it is a high, it has to be called a C because you can't, after a G, never get an H. I'll explain these letters and the ease of using the letters and what it means. So it's actually a perfect time for this, and I'm really looking forward to it. To say it's an opportunity, it'll be an opportunity to add to some positions on a pullback, and maybe even start brand new positions, even though we're at highs in many sectors and stocks.
Basil, I tell you, and thank you for going through that. I can't wait to attend it myself because just when you're talking that, I mean, anybody in this market right now, if you're hearing what Basil's talking about, myself, I think we're all facing some of those decisions, right? Because no matter where you are, if you're invested in this market and you're a bull, if you're a bear, yeah, we know how that goes. But if you're a bull, there's just so many. And out of curiosity, when you were talking there, Basil, I get the NASDAQ 100 up here. The NASDAQ 100 is up 45.3% from the cherry pick lows. And yeah, that's the cherry pick low. But my goodness, 45%, Basil, from that low. So I can't wait myself as I have positions, and I love your analysis and I can't wait for it for sure.
Good. I'm looking forward to it as well. See you in a few minutes.
Folks, get in there. It's right on the front page. Remember, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You're going to get quite an education no matter what. Basil, you do such a great job. I look forward to it. I'll be in there, and we'll see you at 4 o'clock tonight, man. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Tommy.